Helen Yee here with Eyes on the Game Sports, and I am here in Canoga Park at the Fight Factory where I just finished watching Malik Scott, heavyweight veteran. How are you feeling after an intense training session?
I'm feeling good. We do this. My life is when it comes to boxing, is repetitions. I get up in the morning, come to the gym, go home, rest, go back to the gym, and this is every day. So me and Bernie, we try to switch our routines up sometimes, but all in all, we just keep our foot on the gas and constantly do things in a repetitious manner.
Well, you know what, Malik? The last time I was here, I was actually watching someone you were helping train, Charles Martin, train for Anthony Joshua's the title fight, and unfortunately, he lost that fight. Were you surprised at all about the results?
If you look at, I did before the fight, and let's not forget, Charles is like a young lion coming up, and I known him before he knew he had a left foot or a right foot coming up in the sport of boxing. But before the fight, when I did interviews, I said my heart is with Charles to win, but if I was a betting man, I would put my dollar on Anthony Joshua. So it was like unfortunate for me because the guy who I wanted to win, my USA fellowman, he didn't win, but I kindly thought Anthony Joshua had enough to do what he did to Charles Martin the other night.
Now, recently reported, they're saying that next for Anthony Joshua may be Eric Molina or Dominic Brazil. What do you think about those names being thrown out as far as next contenders for him?
I think, what do I honestly think? Because, I'm a very candid guy. I like to be extremely honest. I believe that Dominic Brazil is a good name. He's a young guy. He's undefeated, Olympian. But I feel as though if he fights Joshua right now, it's a rush move. Now, when we're talking Eric Molina, he just got a big win against Thomas Adamick in Poland and went and stopped him. He fought Deontay Wilder. He gave Deontay a good fight before getting stopped. So, and then they saying even Stavern is like one of the guys that supposed to be fighting. They even brought me up to supposed to be fighting him. But if it's any of the guys out of the guys they naming now, I will go with Eric Molina because he just come off a big win and he fought Deontay. And they trying to really gauge off of the whole, because boxing is about, well, he fought him and how good did he do with him and he lasted with him. So whatever looks good on paper is what they're going to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if Molina got the fight. I wouldn't be surprised if I got the fight. I wouldn't be surprised whichever way it goes because it's a money game. So we'll see what happens.
Well, speaking of money and saying that you wouldn't be surprised if you got the fight, how close do you think you are to getting the fight?
Oh, and this is boxing, and this game is so different than anything I've ever been through in my life because I'm at the point in my career now that I used to say, well, if the contract is signed, then that means everything is a go. That's not everything is a go. So now my hopes is not high until I'm actually in the ring looking at the guy across the ring because me and Anthony Joshua had a contract to fight each other before he fought Charles Martin. But once they vision on Charles Martin was he was the worst heavyweight champion that they can get at that time, so they took advantage of that instead of fighting me. But my contract was already signed and sent back. So, if they really want to fight me, I'm always here. If they not, then I'm going to continue to beat top 10 guys until I get my shot.
How much money would you want to fight Anthony Joshua?
Well, the risk of fighting Anthony Joshua is a big risk, but the reward is something you can't even fathom, as far as what you get from beating a guy of that status and what the people over Britain, think of him. And it wouldn't take me much. What I'm saying is actually a proven fact. When they sent me a contract, I didn't even look at the numbers or nothing. My promoter called me and said, they're giving you this, you know that, right? But I had already signed the contract and sent it back. Money is not an issue when you're fighting guys who have that type of public known, quote unquote, invincibility behind them, because the reward is so big after beating them that whatever you're supposed to get is going to be for you after that type of victory anyway.
So it's like, even if hypothetically, not saying it would ever happen, but someone was
$30 and I'm going to kick Anthony Joshua ass for $30 because the reward after that is I'm really in the money, after beating him, you know what I mean? In this game, you have to beat guys that people don't think can be beaten, and that's what I'm willing to do. And I'm coming off of beating 2 top 10 guys, and if I don't fight Anthony Joshua for the IBF title in the next couple months, then I'm going to continue to beat top 10 guys until I get my shot again.
But speaking of people thinking he is unbeatable and after watching Charles fight with him, what kind of holes do you see in Anthony's game?
The loopholes I see in Anthony's game, it's coming across when I do the mathematics on what I see is coming across that I'm the only one that see him. So I wish I could speak on him. So the only person I really talk to about him is Bernie, and we go over the things because he may be a possible opponent. But I'm happy that I'm the only one to see these loopholes. And the reason I know I'm the only one to see him because no one speaks on him. And when I'm looking at a fighter, I'm looking at everything. I mean, from head to toe. I'm a connoisseur and I'm a real pugilist specialist. So it's my job to see loopholes in a fighter and get in the best shape possible so I could take advantage of those loopholes and hopefully beat him. Like, you know what I mean? This is easier said than done. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is Anthony Joshua is not an invincible animal that the people are saying. I don't see that. The last invincible guy that came from Britain to me is Lennox Lewis, and he's an all-time great. Anthony Joshua haven't reached that status yet, but he can fight, though. Like, the kid can fight. Like, he's the real deal. He can fight, but I see loopholes that I think I could take advantage of.
Well, you brought up Lennox Lewis. I heard that you had a friendship with him or when you were younger. Or can you elaborate more about that?
Yeah, when I was 20 and I turned pro, like Lennox used to have me in his camp and spar me and beat me up, and I used to show off, the busted nose he gave me. I took pride in that type of. So, when I would fight, he would support me. And, as I gotten older, when did I see Lennox? I just seen Lennox when Deontay fought Spilkin. We talked a bit and, took pictures together and everything. But if it wasn't for Lennox, I wouldn't know half of the things I know about boxing because he come from a scientist point of view with his mentality with boxing. He plays chess, so that's what he always taught me to do. And because if you listen, somebody would see me fight and say, I don't like the way Malik Scott fight. He don't take enough chances. But then if you go and listen to the dialogue of Lennox Lewis fights, when he used to fight, he used to get knockouts, and people used to say, he's boring. He don't take enough chances. Like, the only difference with me is I don't get knockouts, and people still say the same thing. So boxing is about, like I said, just beating guys that people think can't be beat and continue to do and continue to strive and continue to rebuild in Rome brick by brick.
And speaking of brick by brick and continue to beat guys, well, let's talk a little bit about going to, say, your opponent's hometown. For example, if they did offer you the Anthony Joshua fight and it did come into fruition, but you had to fight in the O2 arena, how well do you think you would do there?
I would rather fight in the O2 arena because I'm all about the reward. And the reward with me, like every individual have their own way of how can I say it? Having as funny as this sounds, having self-acceptance about themselves. So like when I beat somebody, I don't go off of the actual fight. I go off of what I went through in training camp to beat them. I go off of the time I went without eating that burger, the time I went and I didn't feel like getting up. Like, and I beat him in front of his mother. His kids was watching and it still wasn't nothing he can do. I did it in his home country. So the reward for those type of things is priceless to me. So I almost would rather go to somebody's country and beat him. I did it. When I fought Alex Leopai, I went to Australia, didn't get paid basically no money. But like I said, I was in it for the reward because I had to come back from my loss against Deontay Wilder. So I didn't care what I was getting paid, where I had to go. I just wanted a top 10 guy, and I wanted to beat him in his country. And then after that, I beat Tony Thompson. And now I'm just looking for my next third statistic that's in the top 10.
Anyone in particular?
I want to fight Anthony Joshua, Luis Ortiz, or David Haye, or anybody else that has that public known so-called invincibility thing. My promoter have called me to fight guys, and when I turn down a fight, it's not because why another fighter would turn down a fight because they're not ready for that guy. I'll turn down a fight because the reward from beating that guy may not be enough for me what I need to get where I'm going in this game. So if somebody offer me a guy and say, hey, all right, we got to fight with him, I'll automatically think, well, if I beat him, people are going to say I was supposed to. I'm okay. I don't want to fight that guy. Well, people are going to think you scared. People think I'm not fighting that guy because he's not where I need him to be for where I'm trying to go. Yeah. Luis Ortiz is considered invincible right now. I want that. Anthony Joshua is considered invincible right now. I want that. David Haye has been beat, but he has a history. David Haye is David Haye regardless. I want those type of guys, but I'm willing to fight whoever I gotta fight those type of guys. Like I don't really you know what I'm saying. I just want to fight people that people think is going to knock me out or is going to beat me. Like you know what I mean.
Or like a hyped up fight.
Big time. But the thing is, the guys that I'm naming can actually fight. Like me and I said things about Anthony Joshua that he was the Black David Price, and people took that took that as if I was saying he's a hype job like David Price was. No, what I mean by that was the same way people was big on David Price, but then when he failed, people walked away from him. I'm saying Anthony Joshua is no different than that. If he fall, people will walk away from him. Now, who I think is better between Anthony Joshua and David Price? Technically, I believe Joshua is probably better, but I still don't believe that he's invincible. Like, he just have the aura from the public to be invincible, and that's what I want, and them the guys I want to fight, because that's how you get big in boxing. You got to beat people that people think can be beat, and I failed at that one time when I fought Deontay Wilder, who's the heavyweight champion of the world right now. And I felt that when I lost to a fighter named Derek Chisora, I was supposed to beat them guys, like, to me in my head. Like, you know what I mean? Because I don't see, there's not a heavyweight on the planet that I could say that on my best, I can't beat him. There's not nobody that I see that on my best day I can't beat. Like, you know what I mean? I have a shot at beating any heavyweight on the planet.
Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I like Tyson. But Tyson Fury, right? I'm going to tell you something. Tyson Fury is, to me, the most disrespected champion. Since I've been boxing since the age of 12. I've never seen a heavyweight champion get belittled more than Tyson Fury. And they belittle him so much that they don't even, he's undefeated in heavyweight champion and went to Germany and did the impossible, and they like swept it right under the rug and they act like it didn't even happen. They don't even give him the aura of invincibility. Oh no, and he's undefeated. And it almost like it's synced into my mind, because when I think of invincibility, public known invincibility fighters that the public think is that, I don't even think of Tyson Fury, but yet he's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He beat Vladimir Klitschko. He did it in Germany. He did everything right to win the fight. He's like, I've never seen a guy more confident. I've never seen a challenger more confident going in to fight a champion like Tyson Fury was when he fought Vladimir, since Muhammad Ali beat Sonny Liston the first time. Like, Fury really, he's delusional enough to believe to get done that he's getting done. Like, he's crazy enough to believe his own. It's not an act. Like, he's off.
Well, with his rematch against Vladimir Klitschko, how do you see that fight going?
I think if Vladimir come with the same type of game plan and don't make no adjustments, I think this time Tyson Fury stops him. Because I think he was about a round or two off of stopping him. I think it was between the 7th and 9th round he had Vlad in trouble, and he just didn't step on the gas. But I believe if he stepped on the gas now, the results would be different, but it would be different with Tyson Fury winning by knockout or technical knockout, whatever way you want to call it.
Now, a bit more about Malik Scott. You mentioned that you have been boxing since you were 12 years old. What continues to motivate you to keep doing what you're doing at such a high level?
I'm a striver. I just believe in never giving up. I believe in even if you fall, you got to get up. I believe, like, you know, I'm just a believer in life in general. I don't believe, I look at everybody as if almost they're a superstar. The only people that I discredit is people that put their hand out and sit on their couch every day and think somebody's supposed to do something for them or to them or whatever like that. I don't like people with handouts. And what keeps me going is just myself. Like, I don't need validation from anybody. Like, I'm my own validation. When I look in the mirror, like, I'm enough, I have enough self-confidence to look at myself and say, no, you can do that. Let's go to the gym. You look good. Let's go to the gym. I'm always looking for the credit to give myself before anybody else. And that's what gets me going. Like, I get myself going. Like, me motivates me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And what about your fans? Do you have any words for them?
My name is Dohana Malik Scott from North Philadelphia. And I'm a die like this, a good person.
Well, thank you so much for your time. And where can the listeners and viewers follow you on social media?
You can follow me. I have a rule with my social media. This is it. If you're looking for anything close to perfect or anything close to protocol or anything like that, then please don't follow me, because I'll go from training videos to, you may see me with a chick and we're having, like, you know, basically a good time, and then I'll go to odd guy music. Like, I'm like, there's my social media is not protocol. It's not right. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if people are interested, I'm Malik King Scott.
And it's you.
And it's me.